All right, and I think we are now live. Okay, everyone, my name is Dakari Williams. I'm your teacher for career development, COM 215, I believe. Welcome. This is week 1. So we're talking about how to build a resume, what to do, and we'll go from there. So right now, congratulations, guys. You just turned in your first rough draft. But now we're going to be talking about a little bit of couple critiques that we can do to get a little bit better. Remember, this is week 1, so don't stress out. Don't go crazy, guys. This is just a couple things that we can use when you have your career book right here, your career, how to make it happen. So I'm going to go through a couple pointers this afternoon. And remember, comment, email me at dwilliams@valley.edu for any questions. So we're going to get into it, okay? So I am about to do a screen share real quick. Start screen share. Whoop. Okay. And we're going to talk about a resume. Now, if you notice, this is a regular resume that we've seen hundreds of times, but we're going to use this as a template for our discussion this afternoon. Oh, a little bit too much. Let's back this out. Okay. So we're going to talk about this, and we're going to break down each section. And you can follow along with me if you have your book, and you can actually turn to page 107 and 102. And before we get there, that was chapter 6, resumes. And we're going to be talking about the content for the resume and how to go from there. So if we look on page 102, it says, outcome number 2, it says, plan your resume content. And the paragraph underneath outcome 2 says, writing a great resume that gets you an interview typically does not happen on the first try. You begin by planning and developing a master resume that you can customize for different job listings. Your master resume is the generic version of the resume you use for networking and to distribute at job fairs. So right now, guys, we're going to be looking at that master resume. We're going to be looking at all angles, how we can get better. So we're going to break down this one and show this is going to be the template on which how we grade your resume. Now, some of you guys have already turned in resumes. That's great, but they're not quite in the right format that we're looking for. Now, the reason we're going to use this template is for a couple reasons. Number one, it's easy to read. We see the name right here. We see how to contact the person. And each section, professional summary, education, work experience, are all structured to be read very easily. Now, but what happens with a lot of employers are they see 100 a day. So if they're sloppy, if they look like they all run together, they're already going to pitch your resume. So this one is clean, concise, and easy to read, and for someone to be able to see your qualifications very quickly. So let's run through a couple to make sure, does your resume, is it up to snuff? So the first section, if we look at this, look at the name and then also how to contact the individual. If we see right here, we see the person's name is a little bit bigger font. So we're looking at probably 16 to 18 font, bolded. And then we see that we have the address and phone number to reach the person. And this is a huge one right here. When we look at the email, we want to make sure that it's not a hyperlink. Now remember, if it's a hyperlink, it would be blue. So we have to go to the end. Say, for instance, if I clicked right there at the end of the email address and I backspace 1, then it's going to take out the hyperlink. So make sure that we do that. The next portion is we see where it says professional summary. Now right here, it's basically giving you a glimpse of what you're great at, and you're trying to explain to the employer very quickly what kind of person you are. Now, if you notice right here, there are a few different techniques used. That we see that the person says experienced. We see also superior customer service. Okay, so we're quantifying things that we already should be familiar with, but now we're just adding a little bit oomph. So superior customer service with communication skills. So now we're showing where our main power lies, but it also shows what we can focus on in the interview when we're trying to have a dialogue. Also, we see how it says experienced office assistant. Now we're showing a past job, perhaps, and we're also showing that's the main thing that we're going to be pushing to make sure that we get in through the door. So if we're looking at the bullets, we might want to say this is 1, 2, and 3. We want to keep our best skills in the 1, 2, or 3 bullet points, and then we add on. Now, if we look also, it says proficient with computers, and it says Microsoft 2013, and then it gives the different aspects of Microsoft. Remember, if you are not proficient in them, or you are not great at one of them, do not put it in just as a bundle. You never know what they might have you do when you go into that job. For instance, if you're saying, hey, I'm great at Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook, but you have no idea how to use PowerPoint, they might ask you to start doing presentations for their office. Well, then we're going to be in a tight spot. So make sure that you're only putting down ones that you're great at. It might be 1 or 2 or all of them, but make sure. Also, it says keyboard 50 words per minute. Make sure that you're keeping the speed up. If you don't have a good typing speed, start working on it now during the weeks of career development. But you want to make sure that you have somewhere in the range of really 40 to 50 words per minute. 35, you're right on the line. Anything less than 35, man, don't put it down, because you need to be at a certain speed to make sure that you can keep up with the work. Also, the last point we see right here, it says well-rounded, professional, strong, it says well-rounded, professional, strong work ethic, personable, adaptable, excellent time management, and organizational skills. We hear that a lot, so make sure that you pick out a skill that you think can trump anyone else. And next week, we're going to really go into that lesson as well. The next point is looking at education. Now, if we look at right here, it says Valley College. The reason we're going to do Valley College first is that's the newest college that you're in, the newest program that you're enrolled in. Now, some might have other technical skills, but remember, put them after Valley College, because this is the newest. You're enrolled, you're about to get out, congratulations. You want to make sure that this is at the top of the list. Remember, if we look at this, you see how we're bolding the school, then we're putting the address on the same line. Make sure that we have the same format here, because I'm going to mention, hey, don't forget to look at the template to make sure that you're using the right structure. Also, relevant courses. You are going to put down every single course that you took at Valley College. Every one of them, because they are relevant going into the field that you're about to go into, which is healthcare. So you want to make sure that you're writing all these down correctly. Now, some might ask, well, I want to put my high school down. The reason why you do not have to put high school on your education, and we encourage you not to, is because if you're at the college level, a high school diploma or an equivalence is already a default. You must have completed those basic courses or that schooling to get to a technical school or college level. So having a high school record, not important for a resume. You want to leave that off. The next part is work experience. And we'll go into this a lot next week, but a few things to think about. And we can look at page 108 and 109 of your book. Page 108 and 109. And we're going to just leave it there for a second, because as this template, this student put down what they are experienced in, we notice a few things. Number one, their job is bolded. That's the first thing. We see where it is. Also, the location shows that they are still employed. But also, when they're explaining some of their duties, did you notice at each bullet point, they're not saying the same thing? They're not starting with the same word? You want to make sure that you're providing an array of different tasks. If you just say provided this or gave that blank over and over and over again, it's repetitive and it looks like you're not doing a great deal of things. So if you look on page 109, where it shows examples of resume action verbs, accomplish, conduct, evaluate, examine, you want to make sure that you're plugging in some of those words when you're making the descriptions of your resume. Remember, you want to make sure that you're showing that you have a wide array of talents, so you want to make sure that you're populating your resume accordingly. Again, you want to do this for all of your work experience. If you notice, all of the opening words, we don't see a repeat in this. Now, this is a basic one. We see that it's a one-page resume. Some might say, but Mr. Williams, I've been working for 25 years. I have a 5-page resume. That's all well and good, but you want to make sure that you keep it down to 2 pages. And if you have to take the best of, do that. But you want to have only about 15 years or so of work experience that can fit on 2 pages. If they need more, you can add more in later on. But for even a master copy, you really want to have only about 2 pages. Now, if you say, Mr. Williams, I'm going to have more pages because I have so much work experience, and like you said, it's a master copy, I want to plug and play. Okay, you can, but I want 2 different versions. I want a master 1 where it's only 2 pages, and then you can have a master 2 where you can have as many pages as you want. But you should really find the best of regarding your work experience in 2 pages or less. So that is the end of the review for, let me shut that off. Wait a minute, I'm back. So that is the end of the review for the resume. Now, remember, this is a lot of different information. This might be totally new for you. So take a few moments, just look up page 108 and 109, see where you can add into your resume, and then we'll go from there. But it's very important that you're making a concise effort to focus on what's important. If you use just a bunch of generic words that you see all the time, or you have seen resumes online and you're like, oh, that looks good, I'm going to copy and paste it. Remember, when you're thinking about employers, HR departments, they see hundreds, if not thousands of resumes a month. So you have to find a way that sticks out and making sure that you're not only showing what you're wonderful at, but presenting it in a clear manner. I look forward to working with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back next week to talk about interviewing styles and also how to prepare in the mindset getting ready for your interview. Thank you so much.